Hi, it's Lisa. I'm here with a color meditation. I'm actually going to guide you through it. I don't know how I, I love color meditations, especially this time of year, because it seems like everything is so tense right now. And I wanted to share that, you can do something good for your soul and something creative all at the same time just by with a couple of supplies. So I actually stamped words of faith to it's like their Thanksgiving fall sentiment. I stamped them with brown ink on the index cards. I just used the back of them because it's easier that way and it's cheaper that way, and I thought I would just kind of share with you how I do that. So I'll stamp a couple and then I will make one. And I really love Romans 8:28. And so I think I'm going to do that one for you first. When you start this, I always I've been doing color meditations for about 6 months now. And usually I use watercolor, and I have a couple books that I really love to help me just kind of do something totally for me. I'm not making a card for anybody. I'm not in it to necessarily show anybody, but I want to be able to just make something and forget about all the crap that's going on in the world. So that's where this came from. This idea came from a book called Watercolor, a Field Guide to Watercolor. And in that book, Lisa Solomon, the author, has some good color meditation. I think she may have called them watercolor meditations, either watercolor meditations or color meditations. Anyways, I adapted one of her mini exercises to what I'm doing. So she didn't have anything stamped in the middle. She just has a box of color around. And I thought, I need a sentiment or something to go with it. So that's what I'm choosing to do. So I'm making a box of color around the sentiment, and I'm not using a pencil because I don't feel like being boxed in by anything. But I do want to make this line. There's an imaginary line right there. I want to kind of keep it the same. I hope that makes sense. And then I'm not putting the lid on my markers. I'm just going to go. And you can choose any 5 colors. I like 5 colors because it gives a certain design feel to it. And I love that gray next to the blue. That's really fun. Now, if I was trying to be perfect, I would have gone up a little bit more, but that's okay. I'm gonna make it work. This color meditation should be all about enjoying the colors that you're using. So pick your favorite colors and just let the feelings come. If you are thinking about somebody, definitely call them today. If you are thinking about something that you should do, entertain those thoughts. Or meditation usually is about not thinking about anything and just letting your mind be at peace. And I like that. I get that way when I am doing my color meditations. It doesn't always happen, but when it does, it's really wonderful. I also like to have my favorite jazz music or something to get you just to clear your mind a little bit. If you're wondering what the colors I chose 5 colors out of the muted palette landscape. I think it's called the landscape palette. I don't know. It's just the muted colors. And I really like them. The blue is not as muted as they could have been, but I also like that bright blue because it really makes for a fun pop of color. Anyways, I have a sheet of copy paper right next to underneath my index card, because if I go over, I don't have to clean it up later. I can just keep going. And it really is a fun, I don't know. I was playing with color yesterday, and that's what made me think of this exercise. I was sharpening all of our colored pencils that we have at home, and I think throughout the years, you buy so many colored pencils at the beginning of the year. And I finally told my kids, I'm not buying another set of colored pencils for you until these are all gone, because I probably sharpened, I would say 100. So that's like 10 packages of colored pencils, which would make sense as I have 3 kids. And they've been in school for a while. So yeah, we can reuse colored pencils. There's nothing wrong with that. I like reusing art supplies. But my hope is that this exercise will bring you some peace in this crazy time that we're in. And it's a great way to just use up some art supplies. I also like using this for, so I can tell that I did not stamp my stamp in the middle because I have a lot more space on this side, but that's okay because it's a color meditation. If I do anything, I will just send it. I will use this as a note for a friend or even for my daughter, and she will love it. But there's no judging your work during these. I think that's the most important part. And then when you are able to paint or color for yourself, I always find a much happier me afterwards. There's something rhythm, like therapeutic about this, and I wish in my next, I wish I went to did some art therapy, but I didn't, and that's okay for school. But I am sharing my love of creativity and color, so that's good, right? Anyways, there's something rhythmatic and therapeutic about doing these strokes. I'm not thinking about it. I would do this, I don't know, 20 minutes maybe. And I would like to think that I could get a couple in 20 minutes. Which should be... Anyways, this is watercolor meditations, color meditations, whatever you want to call it, is never about the end result. And if you think about it that way, if you're not in it to make something beautiful, which I think this is beautiful and I will totally own it, but it's not about that. It's about clearing your mind and being in the moment. Meditations are all about being in the moment, being in the present moment, feeling your feelings, and or if your feelings are too strong, this is probably not the right color meditation to do. I have other ones that help me get over my anger or my sadness. But this one is to bring peace and grounding, like to ground you. So I use some essential oils that are supposed to help ground you, ground your thoughts, ground your emotions. This color meditation does that for me. And so it is just supposed to help you relax. You can do this in the evening, preferably not watching TV. I like to do this. At the end, I always think, do I need one more or not? And usually if I have to ask myself, I say, nope, I don't need another one. I'm just going to go right there, make that corner. I think I'll be okay. In art, we talk a lot about rhythm and color harmony. And I feel like this has a lot of rhythm and color harmony, especially when I'm actually doing the process. There's this rhythm of 1, 2, pick my marker down, and then do it again. So there's this rhythm to it. And I pay attention to how my body's feeling. I'm not feeling overly uptight. I'm feeling very peaceful about this. And then the the byproduct is that you have this really fun way to bring joy to your life. You could hang that on your mirror in the bathroom so you can remind yourself either of the scripture or of actually the process of doing it. A lot of times when I do color meditations, I'm thinking of, I'm either, again, trying to bring peace back into my life because it's too chaotic, or I am coming to my watercolor meditations, not on purpose, but with solving a problem. Sometimes it's a family problem, sometimes it's an internal struggle. And then I usually can find some sort of guidance while I do it. And I think that's why I keep going back to color meditations. I hope to do more. I would love to be able to share my peace and joy with all you guys, because I find it very therapeutic. And I try to be really just calming my mind. I'm paying attention to the marks on the paper, and I'm not thinking about tomorrow. So if I do this, I'm going to have 2 yellows. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to the next one. Maybe I'll do green. That seems like no one will really notice. I don't want 2 colors in the same. And that does happen once in a while, but there you go. I don't want to. But isn't that fun? I just love doing these. They make me happy. Thanksgiving is coming up. I'm going to do this one next. And I already have green out, so I'm just going to do that. Why not? And if you find that you don't like a color palette like you thought, change it up. I've done one where I did 20 different colors because I wanted to see how the 20 colors reacted with each other as a whole. And I found out that the colors that I thought I liked, I didn't much care for. And the colors that I thought, we'll see, are now my favorites. So this is, if you have, a whole bunch of art supplies, this is also a great way to use your art supplies when you don't have another idea of what to do. I find this very peaceful. So if you need peace in your life, definitely go with this. Now, you don't have to stamp a sentiment in the middle. I find it gives me a little bit more of a purpose. So if I really do like it, I can send it off to somebody. And the cool thing is on the back side, I have lines that I can actually write a little note to. You can tell I'm totally getting into it because I'm not paying attention as much to, I'm letting my artistic, I'm letting the process happen really is what it's about. And that's what you want. This is a great way to just relax. Take your deep breaths. If you're struggling with a problem, don't think about it. Just enjoy the moment that you're in. That's the hardest part. And I don't know, I could never get into the moment. And my husband noticed that. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I don't know how to be in the moment. And art did this for me. I was able to get out of that an anxious state all the time and just focus on the colors that I'm using. And I think that's why I'm such an advocate for, I don't want to say color meditations, but I'm such an advocate for art therapy. And if I had a crystal ball 20 years ago when I was in school, I totally would have said, I'm going to keep going and get art therapy, but I never did. But that's okay. I don't want to cancel patients. I want to be able to share joy and creativity. And I think I'm doing that pretty well. So I'm happy where I'm at. Happy that I get to stay home with my kids. And I'm happy that I can share my talents and creativity in a way that I never thought I was going to. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit. And I'm kind of going backwards, but I'm feeling okay with that because it's there we go. I like that one. Okay. I'm going to call this good. I hope this helped you guys find some peace either today or maybe tomorrow, but there we go. I got 3 of them that I could probably send to a friend. I have a little free library. I might just put those in the little free library as a bookmark and say, enjoy this or not, just give it to them. Because I think it's fun to show your creativity. This was twofold. I was able to feel peace and joy in my life for the 10 minutes I did this. And I'm able to share this to somebody else. And that's like a wonderful feeling. So I hope you give this a try. And I hope that this helps you have more peace and joy in your life.